Hi, these are the energy exercises that I recommend that you do every day. When you first begin to do these, I actually recommend that you do them 3 times a day for 2 to 3 weeks to help build a really strong energy foundation for yourself so that life feels smoother for you. You have more resilience, takes the edges off the difficulties. These exercises have made phenomenal differences in people's lives. And I want you to know at the outset that they can be very powerful. And making a commitment to yourself to continuing to do them will be very transformative for you in your life. So the first one is called the belly button breathing correction. You take your fingers, all your fingers, and you clump them up into your belly button. Take your other fingers and you make a C clamp with your thumb and your middle finger. And you're going to tap on those soft spots underneath the collarbones just outside of the sternum. You're going to tap for, I don't know, 20 seconds. It doesn't really have to be more than that. And then you switch and you do the same thing with the opposite hands. Check your stance. So you're standing in mountain pose, which means that your feet are straight ahead, hip width apart. Try and relax your hips and open your knees, relax your knees so that they're not locked. Drop your shoulders and drop your jaw. And then take your hands and you're going to use the side of your thumb and your index finger like this to tap above and below your lips. You might want to close your eyes as you go through these exercises, as that helps you to focus more internally and actually increases the benefit of doing these exercises. Then reverse or switch. As you go through this, you might find yourself yawning, doing sighing breaths, which is your body's way of moving into the restive part of your nervous system. And then take your hand and you're going to take it back to your tailbone, base of your tailbone and your sacrum, and you're going to rub up and down. And this rubbing up and down stimulates the cerebrospinal flow. So it both bathes and cleanses your nervous system from the base of your spine all the way up through your brain. And probably out the nerve endings as well. Okay, good. And then switch again. Same thing. Check your stance again. See if your body wants to loosen itself up a little bit more. Good. Okay, nice deep waterfall breath. Breathe in through your nose. Hold it for a second and then drop it out through your mouth. Great. The second one is a hookup for the central meridian and the governing vessel. So we do this one by taking your middle finger, doesn't matter which one, back into your belly button. Your other middle finger is going to go just above and between your eyebrows. It's actually the third eye point. And you're going to push in with both. So you push up your forehead and you're going to pull up the front of your torso, right? And then drop your shoulders, check your knees, relax your jaw. We're just going to hold this one for about a minute. One of the first things you will begin to notice about this is that you can really feel the bottoms of your feet, which means 2 things. One, that your energy and your awareness is flowing back into your body, not just being stuck up in your head. And that you're opening your energies, you're actually opening up the chakras, the energy openings in the bottom of your feet to the earth energies. You're not meant to be separate and disconnected from those earth energies, and they give us much strength and health. Okay, now let's switch. You want to do each one of these for about a minute on each side. So Push in, lift up, drop your shoulders and drop your jaw. Check your knees and breathe. Your body might want to feel like it wants to move around as things begin to release. That movement helps actually move some of the, let's call it crystallized, calcified energy. It begins to kind of break up, and you move it through the lymph, move it through our energy systems and out. This one's very meditative. Good. All right. Another nice deep breath, although you really don't need a deep breath after that one. Okay. And the next one we're going to do is a cross crawl. I'm going to show you two variations of it. One's a more physical variation. The other one's more energetic. See which one you have a preference for. Okay. But what they do is help to balance the hemispheres of the brain. All right. The first one, I didn't tell you this. The first one is really, it does a number of different things. It's getting the energy flows to flow in the right direction. It's getting them unstuck and getting them flowing in the right direction. So it can begin to decrease that feeling of pressure and tension, anxiety even. Some people really notice being able to sort of think more clearly just by doing that. All right, this cross crawl then is energizing, and it helps you focus a little bit more, okay? So we'll start, and the one way of doing it, which its name suggests, is that we do a march, an exaggerated march, drawing one elbow towards the opposite knee, right? Simple, simple. Anybody working out probably is doing things while you're working out that's actually helping to activate this relationship between the right and left hemispheres of your brain. All right. So you can see already as you do it just for a little bit that doing it this way, if you need more energy, this is really the way to do it. Do it for a minute and you'll feel better and more energized. Okay. All right. So then a more energetic way to do it is to take your hand and grab one of your shoulders, and then you're going to brush or sweep your hand across the front of your body and off your opposite hip. So it looks like this, okay? And we're going to do this 3 times on each side. 2, 3. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to repeat. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Great. All right, now we're going to do that on the back too. So you take the back of your hand, put it wherever you can without straining on the opposite side of your back, and then pull across down off that opposite hip 3 times. Other hand, 1, 2, 3, and back again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right. All right. Take a nice deep breath again. Drop it out. Good. And as you notice, I really pushed all my breath out. That gets the carbon dioxide out and allows us to gather in, breathe in a lot more oxygen, which our nervous system really needs, right? Doesn't get enough of it, generally speaking. Okay, so that's the cross crawl. So now we're going to move on to these couple of exercises that are known as the yin and yang flows. And there are 2 exercises that I do together for the yin flow. The yin flow is, and so our energy comes down the front of our body and up the back. So this is the flow, down the front and up the back. The energy in the front is considered yin energy. So it's the energy of openness and receptivity. It's the energy of vulnerability, right? And when it's balanced, we feel present, we feel open, we feel energized. We just feel really present. We feel strong inside ourselves and present and open. When it's blocked, or we've been under a lot of stress, or we've been traumatized, we curl in on ourselves, as everybody knows, I'm sure. And it's protective, right? Because we protect our vulnerability. So we do this to just hide. In a way, it's kind of hiding. Like when we feel vulnerable, we can either come out attacking or we can withdraw. So this is really more a withdrawal movement. And it's not a place where anybody feels strong inside themselves. So we're going to correct this for more emotional resilience and ability to be present and trust ourselves and trust the moment and the situation that we're safe. We're safe, we're good. It feels really good to be alive. So the way we're going to do this, I'm going to demonstrate this to you first before I actually do it. I'm going to describe it before I actually do it. And there are a few parts to it. One is that you're going to stand in mountain pose, again, with your feet under your hips, straight ahead. Your hips are relaxed and your sits bones are dropped, which causes your knees to not be locked, which is really important. If our knees are locked, we're a pushover. Quite literally, when they're not locked, we're not a pushover. That has lots of implications in our life. So we're standing here with looser knees, like not locked knees. And then I'm going to have you trace a heart around your chest, starting in the center of your heart center. And you're going to come up, and then you're going to come all the way out to the sides of your ribs, right under your armpits. And then you're going to come down and end in the solar plexus. So you can see my ribs end here. Now, if I came all the way back up here, I'd come up like this, but this is a heart motion. And so it's coming here and it's dropping down just a little bit, right? That's right in the center of the energetic solar plexus. You're going to do that 3 times, okay? And then on the 3rd time, you're going to flatten your hands, and then you're going to brush the energy all the way off the front of your body, scooping all the way down and going off your toes, just the way we did when we did this, okay? And then the last thing is that I'm going to have you do a couple of things while you're hanging down in ragdoll. A number of things to say about being in ragdoll. One is that you want to make sure that your neck is relaxed. People who aren't used to doing yoga will bend their back and they'll keep their neck up, right? So they'll go like this, say some version of this. I'm only doing this a little bit so you can see. And they'll go down, but they'll keep their neck up. You want to drop your neck all the way down. Okay, so that's one of the first things to remember. I'm going to go down. I'm going to have you do just a couple little things while you're taking some deep breaths. Then I'm going to have you grab your elbows. You can do it this way, or you can lock your elbows in. And that will help you to stretch more of the lower part of your back and the upper part of your legs and your buttocks. So your whole back, your whole spine is getting a really good stretch doing this. Now, as you start coming up, I'll have you drop your arms again, and you will release your arms. You're going to tuck your chin in, and you're going to start doing what we call the Celtic weave. And you can think of it as the infinity symbol, right? Because that's what it is. And so when you're doing it, you start with your hands, palms up, and your hands go out all the way to the side. They cross over, palms down, they come in, they cross, palms up, out, palms down, come in, cross over, all right? So you can see that this is like, you know, actually the infinity symbol would go this way, but this is creating this, let's say, a cousin to the infinity symbol, all right? And this is really freeing, clearing, and just doing this feels really good. It just helps you feel, like I said, freer and more open. So I encourage you just to stand around and do that, and you're just going to feel better, even if you just do it for a few seconds. All right, but we're going to do it as we gradually come back up. You're going to keep your chin tucked to your chest until your arms get back up around shoulder height. And when you come back up and your arms are here at shoulder height, you can just slowly kind of lift your head, and then your arms are going to continue to go all the way over your head and then drop down. Okay, so I'll back up a little bit so you can see me doing it. You can see my full body while I'm doing it. All right, so we start, and check your knees, make sure they're not locked. And we're going to trace around the heart 3 times. 1, 2, 3. You're going to flatten your hands against the front of your body. I'll go sideways, and you're going to brush your hands down off your body and off your toes. And take a nice deep breath down here. I just want to see how much you can see of me. Okay, good. Now, while you're down here, I want you just to bend your knees a little bit, and this helps you roll your hips and loosen your hips and some of these muscles in the lower part of your back, upper legs. And then kind of do the same with your shoulders. Sort of roll them around a little bit, roll your neck a little bit. Take a nice deep breath. And don't feel like you have to go down as far as I do. Go down only to where your body feels comfortable. Okay. All right, now grab your elbows. Nice deep breath here. You might find yourself being able to elongate your stretch. That's really great. And tuck your chin, drop your hands, and start doing this Celtic weave as you slowly stack one vertebrae on top of the other. Now, we don't literally do that, but it is a thought that helps us keep a nice tight curl, which is really, really good for our spine. So we get here, and our hands up, all the way over our body, up and down, okay? Roll around a little bit. So that's the first part for the inflow, to balance this energy in the front. The second part is called a triple warmer sedation exercise. And actually, both of these, although what I just did was a variation, but both of these come from Donna Eden. These, exercises come from a number of different people in the energy medicine and energy psychology fields. So these two come from Donna Eden. So this tracing around the ears, smoothing around the ears, it's called, has to do with the triple warmer meridian. And that's the one, it comes in actually off the ring finger, the backside of the ring finger, and along the top of the arm, up along the trapezius, the side of the neck, and then it curls around the ear and ends just inside these orbital bones, okay? When you want to calm a meridian, you trace it in the opposite direction. It's called sedating a meridian. So we start here, and doing this energetically, just lightly trace around down the side of your neck and just off your chest. Not even tracing the whole thing, just the first part of it. And breathe and just see what you notice. Once you've been doing this for a while, you can really feel it activating the energy. It feels really tingly doing this. Okay? So that's the energetic way to do it. The physical way to do it, to work more with the tension that is around our head and our skull, is to take your fingers, put them at the base of your temples, right? And even doing that, one of the things about working with the temples is you might notice that they get really hot and they can be really sore. So you're going to press in, and then you're going to trace with as much pressure as feels comfortable. It's kind of like a massage, a big, nice, wide path around your ears, right? So you start this way, and then you kind of reverse your hands, and you pull your fingers down your skull, almost pushing your ears forward. You can see me pushing mine forward. You come down off the skull, all the way down, and then you come down the side of your neck, and you get partway down the neck, and that's actually the trapezius muscle up there. And you're going to push again, put some pressure. So you're massaging along the top of that trapezius muscle, all the way out to your shoulders. Clothes and earrings and jewelry and hair all get in the way of this one, but do it to the best of your ability. And then you go back and you grab the trapezius. And I've tried to grab my trapezius, not at my neck, and of course not out here. It's really hard to do that. It's sort of in the middle, like in the middle of my either side of my shoulder. Stand here and take a nice deep breath, again, checking your knees. So nice deep breath in. Hold it. Good. Release that breath and begin to lock your fingertips in and pull them like you're pulling across those collarbone, or not the collarbones, I'm sorry, the trapezius, with as much pressure as feels good again, all the way down to the collarbones, and then you shake your arms out. You get that buildup of lactic acid. So you just want to shake your arms out. Good. And then we do it again, right? Base of the temple, up and around. Switch and then pull down. I always think of the back of the ears kind of like the corners of a room, and how when we're cleansing a room energetically, we need to make sure that we cleanse the corners, because old energy sort of builds up in those corners. And it's the same thing with the back of our ears. So grab your another nice deep breath here. And breathe out. And then tighten your fingers, lock them in and pull them across those trapezius. Just feel how good that feels. There's so much tension there. Kind of pull down on those collarbones a little bit and shake them out. Okay? All right. So that's all for the inflow. And just check and see what you notice about how you feel now being present. Do you notice that perhaps it's easier to stand with your shoulders back a little bit and your chest sort of out so that you're present? You know, you're like here, like, oh, I'm here. I'm not like here. Here I am, and I'm alive, and I'm present, and I'm ready for life. Okay. The yang flow or the yang flow, the correction for that is there are two ways that if you have a partner to help you with this, two ways you can do this. One is to have that person start at the back of your neck or top of your head, doesn't matter which, and do this Celtic weave all the way down your back. So they go all the way down and they bend all the way down to your feet, and then they come back up again, right? And they're doing this Celtic weave along your back. That's probably, if you have a partner, that's probably the best way to do it. When I'm with people in person, I do some energy work along the upper half of their backs, and what it does is help people feel more resolute, like that strong backbone, right? So they feel not only now do they feel more open and present, but they feel stronger, more grounded, and more resilient, right? A lot of these things add to our energetic, emotional, and cognitive resilience, okay? Good. All right, so then the next two that we're going to do, we do sitting down, okay? So I'm going to have to adjust my camera here and move my bench, which is just a little complicated by a cord for a light. Okay, so here I am sitting down. Oh, let me adjust. All right, so this next one is called the collarbone breathing correction, and it was created by Roger Callahan, who first created thought field therapy, out of which EFT, the emotional freedom technique and energy psychology grew, okay? So, and he claimed that this was the most powerful of these exercises that a person could do. And that sometimes that's people's experience, but not all the time. So just see what you notice for yourself. As I've said before, all of these are really important. And together, I think they create a wholeness So if you only have time to do a few of them, do the ones that seem to be the most helpful, which may be the ones you like the most, maybe not. But also know that just because one of them or a couple of them, you might not notice yourself feeling better as soon as you do it, doesn't mean it's not doing really important work. Okay? All right, so this one has a breathing pattern and 8 hand motions, all right, or 8 positions. So you're going to take your hand and you're going to tap with the opposite hand, no matter what we're doing. You're going to be tapping in this valley between your pinky finger and your ring finger, okay? Just like that. All right, so we start with the left hand on the left side, and the breathing pattern is this. Just take a normal breath. And then breathe in halfway and hold that breath. Breathe in the other half and hold it. And then fill your lungs up completely, which may just be a tiny little bit more breath, and hold it. And then exhale half of that breath and hold it. Exhale the other half and hold it. And then push all the rest out. Slide to the side, to the right side. Now, I just want to add that the more we practice deeper breathing, the more we develop the skill to breathe deep into our lungs, which feels like belly breathing. And we fill our lower part of our lungs up first, and then the higher part of our lungs up later. That way we actually can take in a lot more air, get more oxygen in. We're not used to doing that unless we've trained ourselves. So just notice what happens with you, and practice, okay? Another thing that you might notice that's worth mentioning here is that sometimes it's easier to take in breaths, to breathe in, than it is to breathe out. So sometimes people do the half and half, much better breathing in, and then when they're exhaling, they don't exhale as much, and at the end, they have all this air to exhale, okay? That reflects somebody who holds on, energetically, emotionally holds on and doesn't want to let go. On the other situation, if you just breathe in a little bit and a little bit, and then you have to breathe in a lot to fill up, which often happens, it's kind of a resistance to life. Like, I don't want to take any more in, like I'm overwhelmed, I got too much. And so we limit our breathing, which means then we don't get enough oxygen, we don't get enough life energy to really support our well-being. So pay attention to those things too. And if you balance, the more you balance those out, the more, again, strength, resilience, health you're going to be creating for yourself. All right, so we were here, and then I wanted to tell you a few things. So now you moved over to the right, tapping between those last 2 knuckles, normal breath. Breathe in half and hold. Breathe in the other half and hold. Fill up completely. Exhale half and hold. Exhale the other half and hold. And push the rest out. Okay? Now, right hand on the left side, normal breath. Breathe in half and hold. Breathe in the other half and hold. Fill up completely. Exhale half and hold. Exhale the other half and hold. And push the rest out. And slide to the right. One of the things you might notice is you might get a little lightheaded if you're not used to breathing in so deeply, all right? So if you do that, just ease it up a little bit, breathe out more than you breathe in, and that will help you get rebalanced again. If you get really lightheaded, which I think has happened maybe 1 or 2 times in the thousands of times I've done this, you can put your head down between your legs and breathe. Or, you know, if you're hyperventilating, which I don't have anybody do from this, but breathing in a bag is a really good way to help yourself from that. So just in case. Normal breath. Breathe in half and hold. Breathe in the other half and hold. Fill up completely. Exhale half and hold. Exhale the other half and hold. And push the rest out. All right, now we're going to repeat the same 4 positions, this time with the soft fist. So soft fist with the left hand on the left side, normal breath. Breathe in half and hold. Breathe in the other half and hold. Fill up completely. Exhale half and hold. Exhale the other half and hold. And push the rest out. Slide to the right, normal breath. Breathe in half and hold. Breathe in the other half and hold. Fill up completely. Exhale half and hold. Exhale the other half and hold. And push the rest out. Good. Right hand on the left side, normal breath. Good. Breathe in half and hold. Breathe in the other half and hold. Fill up completely. Exhale half and hold. Exhale the other half and hold. And push the rest out. Great. All right, last time. Slide the hands to the right. Normal breath. Breathe in half and hold. Breathe in the other half and hold. Fill up completely. Exhale half and hold. Exhale the other half and hold. And push the rest out. All right. Bring your hands down, release the breath. Just take another nice, deep, easy breath. See what you notice. You could feel a lot of tingling, a lot of energy all around you. It could feel like it's moving. You could just feel like it's vibrating around you. You're really activating yourself energetically. You can feel it outside yourself and within yourself as well. It's a great thing, okay? All right, and there's one more to do. This is the last one. I talked about the energy going down the front of the body and up the back, and then in the front from, forward, lower, and up, and doing this sort of circular elliptical motion from front to back. But we also have from side to side, okay? And that can get reversed very easily. And when it gets reversed, we can actually reverse those around us because we're reversed, but it increases a sense of anxiety. All right, so let me describe this a little bit. If you think of a wheel and the bottom part of the wheel is cut up into, well, no, it's not. But just the bottom part of the wheel is a continuum that goes from over here, like being totally exhausted, having no energy, completely drained, right? Not a good energetic state. And you're drained, so you're out of balance. Feeling drained and exhausted is not a good state, right? So we go from that to all these imbalanced states that have more and more energy, but they're still on the imbalanced side of things. And you get up over here, and when we're unbalanced and we've got a lot of energy now, of course, is anxiety. Like we're moving really fast, we're talking really fast, we're thinking so fast. We've got thoughts going off in all directions. We could be really distractible. Our eyes could be darting all around. We're breathing very shallowly and rapidly, right? Not something that's sustainable and not something that's good for us. This exercise really helps that. And it really helps, well, I don't mean to do that. Actually, it really helps bring you up into a more focused, quiet, even energized state. I mean, it can be quiet, but you're focused and you're clear. Like there's a clarity, there's an access, there's an ease, all right? So here's what it looks like. You start and you clasp your hands together and you look and you see which thumb is on top. For me, it's my left thumb. It could be your right thumb. You're gonna release your hands, and then I'm gonna do this with my left leg. Although if you had your right thumb on top, you're gonna wanna start with your right leg. So if your left thumb was on top, you're gonna put your left ankle on your right, just above your right knee or on your right thigh. You're gonna take your right hand and put it on that left ankle. Otherwise, if you had started with your right leg over, you're going to be putting your left hand on your ankle, okay? You're going to take that free hand and you're going to bring it over and you're going to grab the palm. You want the palm of your hand to grab the instep of your foot, okay? Those are minor chakras, and you're completing an energy circuit. And it just feels really good. So do that. You're actually going to be pulling a little bit back on your foot. You don't want to push your foot forward, because that actually is a little anxiety provoking, oddly enough. So you're going to pull your foot back towards you, kind of cradle it. And you're going to do the waterfall breath 5 times. All right. So we're going to go through straight. You see me straightening my body out, up. And we're going to do this breath 3 times while we're pulling, taking a nice deep breath in and pulling up on our leg. That seems to help increase the effect of this. So breathe in, hold, and drop it out through your mouth and relax your body. In. In. Remember to let all that breath out. And one more time. Good. Bring that leg down. You're going to bring your opposite leg up to that opposite thigh. So for me, my left hand now is going on my right ankle. For you, it could be your right hand on your left ankle. My free hand is coming over, grabbing my instep, squaring my body, feeling that connection, relaxing. And let me say again, not again, but whatever we're doing as well as you can do it and not pushing yourself. I'm pretty limber, and so you're not going to necessarily want to do what I do. That's not the important thing. The stretch of it, or how well you can, go into ragdoll. Like, the import is the actual position, doing it as well as you can. All right, 5 breaths here. And one more. Great. Release your hands. Now, that's just the first part. There's a second part to this, okay? Take my glasses off. Yep. Second part is you're going to put your hands together. You're going to put your thumbs up on your third eye, again, which is just above and between your eyebrows. If you notice, let me shift this a little bit. My fingers are together above my head. And actually, if you feel a tremendous amount of anxiety, obsessiveness, tightness, you can hold your hands here, like I'm resting my hands against my forehead, and you can do that same breath 5 times. We're not going to do it now, but you can do that, and that will increase the effects of this exercise. All right, but you're going to push your thumbs, and you're going to do this massage, again, with as much pressure as feels comfortable, all the way around your skull this time. So your fingers are going to pull, and they're going to stretch, and they're going to go across your eyebrows. And you might notice soreness here. If you've got a lot of tension, which a lot of people do, and they don't even realize it, you get into those temples, and you're going to slide your thumbs through the temples, which again can be hot and sore. To be gentle with yourself. And your thumbs are going to come to the top front of your ears. Now, what you're going to do with your fingers is try and keep at least your middle fingers together. That keeps a circuit going. And then with your thumbs, you're going to push them. You're going to kind of nudge against your ear. So once again, you're kind of giving some stimulation to that ear. You're pushing it down. And then when your fingers get around behind, you're pushing your ears forward. And then when you actually start sliding, you're sliding your ears forward, sliding your fingers down, pushing your ears forward. When your thumbs get to the base of your skull or the mandible, you're going to dig under that with your thumbs, okay? And you're going to trace along underneath your skull until your fingers meet in the middle and the back, and you push there, okay? Then bring your hands up, around, and again, and if your shoulders are tight, you can just roll them, and that'll loosen that lactic acid again. Then come back up here. Nice deep breath in. And then push and pull and stretch. This time you might notice that there's sometimes less pain, sometimes the heat actually releases. Take your time with this. Coming all the way down with those thumbs off the base of your skull, those little points, peninsulas, the mandible, and slide underneath. Thumbs meet in the middle, push back there. Bring your hands up and around to the heart center. Take a nice deep breath here. You might want to roll your shoulders again. And now close your eyes and check in with yourself and see what you notice now. It's such a good practice to check in with ourselves before we begin these exercises. Of course, before we begin tapping, we do it, well, before we begin meditating. We don't always necessarily do that before we begin meditating, right? Or before prayer, before anything like this that changes our state, our energetic, emotional, cognitive, physiologic state. Okay? So just see what you notice. How are you feeling inside of you now? And breathe into that feeling. Let yourself sit with feeling this way inside yourself so you can begin to know this feeling. You can begin to know yourself in this space. Good. Now mark that in your memory. Actually, just tell yourself to mark it in the cells of your body, which will really help to mark it in the memory of your body energetically and physically. You might want to follow along with this video until you feel really comfortable, like you really know this and you've got this practice down, at which point it will take you maybe about 10 minutes actually to get through the whole thing. Then you also have this video whenever, maybe after a while, it's been a while since you've done it and you need a refresher. It's always good if you feel like you've gotten to a point where you're kind of normalized in a stronger energy foundation and you maybe haven't been doing it for a while. If you get sick, well, in any case, if you get sick or you have like a sudden traumatic thing happen, or you're going through a particularly really difficult experience, it's really good to do this on the front side and on the back side. Okay. And with that, I wish you a better day and hope to see you again. Take care. Bye.